my experience. Awesome. Thank you everyone for coming so much. So nice to see everybody. We've missed everybody over the last year and a half. So my name's Gina Lund. My husband Gardner is over here, and I've run Castellanos Country Store since about 2009. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. And then Gardner came along in 2016, and he provided the very much needed pop of the mom and pop shop, and he's a baker, and so it was just a beautiful match, and he's amazing, and it's all of those things. So we are now running the store together since 2016. As of February 22nd, approximately 2/22/2020, I closed my business because I needed to take a break. I'd been running it for about 10 years, and it just wasn't quite working, and so we decided to close and go inward and look at what was going on. And we looked at a bunch of different things, and then COVID hit, and then at the time, I actually have a list, but I'm not going off it at all. So since COVID hit, we went, Gardner had a piece of property on Last Chance. And when we got together, we basically moved there together, and I'd been operating the store out of SoCal commuting, doing the best commute in the world, Highway 1. It was epic. People are always like, why do you drive an hour and a half? I'm like, you drive from like Castroville to San Jose. I've got Highway 1. So anyhow, we basically spent the last 5 years really building that piece of property into this beautiful, lush, green, epic, verdant garden, anything from guavas to moringa. We had lettuce, we had kale, we had trees, a beautiful medicinal culinary herbal garden. And then, as you are all remembering, which is why we're here, on August 16th, we had that epic lightning storm followed by the heat wave. And we all had our windows blown open at 3 a.m. and then the fires really started approximately 6:41 that morning on the 16th. And where we live on Last Chance, we're about 2,000 feet above Scotts Creek, and so we could see all the way from Monterey, all the way to Año, and we watched Carmel catch fire. We watched the lightning strikes just kind of in awe. Like, I was terrified. I was just like, oh, good gosh, this is actually horrible, Anyhow, so we watched the fire for a couple days, reassured that we were going to be okay, the fire was going to get put out. Our neighbor was a fire marshal for our community, so we actually had a plan in place for over 10 years that was totally thrown to the wind because the fire was bigger than they expected. So approximately 9:30, I'm like, there's flames, like way too big, and I had gone down the email string because we were all communicating via email. And I said, okay, so I'm leaving because they said at 6:15 nobody even knows that anybody lives on Last Chance, and so I'm out. And Gardner ended up leaving like an hour later, and we basically are lucky to be here because, it was pretty catastrophic. A lot of our neighbors ended up leaving with just the clothes on their back. One of my neighbors didn't even make it out with her dentures. So after that experience, and living here and loving this place so much, as David pointed out, the redwoods will now catch fire. So our goal really is to hopefully get people together to create like a resilient community, to learn together, to prepare ourselves for what is to come. Because we can't keep fooling ourselves that it's not going to happen to us. And it would just be devastating. From our property, you can see, we're right on the other side of Lockheed, and you can stand on our property at 2,000 feet and turn in a full 360 view. Dave Reed's been there, Susan True's been out there, and this all burnt, all of it, everywhere you look. So we can prevent that. That's the exciting part, if we all work together and start stewarding our forest. And that's when I'm going to refer to my notes. So we've all learned so much since that night, and basically what we need to do is look at the way indigenous people do prescribe burns and how they care for the forest. To remember we are part of this ecosystem and have a responsibility to care for it. The lands we live on were carefully tended for over 15,000 years. That could be proven scientifically by bones and burns, and they're doing a whole study on that. And a lot of people think it was much longer, like 40 to 60,000 years. And when they say steward the forest, that means they could see through the trees, they could walk through the forest, and they would do regular prescribed burns. There's a wonderful organization called, it's a prescribed burn a Cal prescribed burn thing. I have information for it, we can give it later. And then basically my final thing is just to tell everybody, because I know everyone here who I haven't met anybody really who's my customers, just a few. Everyone's waiting with bated breath to find out what's happening with Castellanos. We've been closed for a year and a half. We're going to reopen hopefully by September 1st as coffee shop, pastry, and then we're going to try and create a community center minus the big building attached to it. But it's like a hub where people can come and meet and take classes, learn about what's going on, basically to create what people have always wanted. What they've always asked us for, which is to have events. We have a sign-up sheet for classes and stuff like that over here. We're going to offer local arts, food, produce. I've become very much a diehard herbalist, and so we're going to have an apothecary there. And we are asking for the community involvement. So if anybody feels inspired or wants to do anything, please contact us. We would love to have you be part of it. And so, I would like to leave you with, as Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda says, the past is history, the future is a mystery, and today is a gift. That is why we call it the present. And so, I just want to leave you with those words because they are supporting and helping me to remember to keep working today towards repairing these issues as a community so we can all learn not to burn.